I am again. Hello, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery. I have my OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. I'm going to spread some paint. I have a small dish from the party section of Michael's. I have a skewer with a paintball on the end. That's about this, what I'm expecting a marble would do. I also have my knitting needle, which is an alternative to a skewer, and it has a larger end, the button on the end. Anyway, so my whole thing is I've got a 16 by 16 inch canvas. I'm going to do some puddle pours because somebody inspired me by rolling a ball bearing instead of a marble. And I have ball bearings, I just don't want to use them right now. I have some Anita's white metallic in my little container, and I want to put a little bit of Amsterdam black in there just because, and some other colors. This is a neon pink from Folk Art. I believe it might even be matte. These are the colors that I am going to use as the puddles anyway. But I wanted to have a little something on the side to pour in. So this is what I decided to do. And I have a few colors. Actually, that one is probably never going to come out of there, no matter how much I wish. That's time to clean that. Oh, I got something. Yay! Anyway, I'm just going to pour right out of that little dish. I'm going to probably throw some blue in there too. That is an Arteza color. I don't know. It's a metallic or a pearl. And I never use my magenta from Golden anymore. And I'd like to start a trend. This is, I believe, an amethyst from Artist Loft. And I have another turquoise color that's an Artist Loft, and they call it cobalt blue, and it's totally turquoise, so don't be fooled. Totally deep turquoise metallic. So I'm going to put that aside, bring in my canvas, whip out my Meeden paint, give it a bit of a shake, start by giving myself a layer of paint because it's got a gallery wrapped edge, and I'm going to try not to worry about that right now because I've got edge catchers, and this is the size canvas I want to use, and I have a few of them hanging around. And after I get a basic layer of paint on there, then I'm going to go back again and put a puddle on. A puddle and more puddles. I might even take the top off that to pour it because this is not spreading as copiously as I was hoping for, but so long as I get it right to the edge of the canvas, I should be okay. And I do have my glasses on, so I can't actually tell the difference between white paint and white canvas right now, and I'm trying to not be OCD about it. I see there's something in my paint that I want to pull out. I have tweezers, stainless steel pointy tweezers. They're on my Amazon link on the link tree. The link tree is the first blue link under the video. All kinds of good tools and paints and cameras and tents and you name it, it's there. So let's just take the top right off of this, if I can. That's, oh, well, maybe not. All right, rather than twist the whole bottle, I'm just going to give it as much of a puddle as I possibly can, and then try and spread it around. Yeah, it's time to make up some new paint, I think. I'm keeping the edges free also so that I have something easy to hang on to. I wonder if the top will come off the other bottle even more easily, and I bet it will. This is going to be messier than what I usually endeavor to create because I'm using a puddle, of course. I have a lot. Boy, those are kind of different colors. That's kind of strange. Shouldn't be. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I'm going to torch and release the bubbles caught in the paint because there are plenty to see caught in the paint. I am going to use my dioxazine purple. This is, I believe, my color shifting purple from Folk Art. It's a theme. It certainly is. Here's my color shifting turquoise from Folk Art. I'm a big fan of both the turquoise and the Folk Art. I want to make sure I have enough paint. Thinking about some orange. I was thinking about some blue too. I have some nice red from Folk Art. I'm just not sure how I feel about adding it, but I guess it's going to be okay because I did it anyway. So let's find that orange. And I still have my dish of paint colors that I think I'm going to do something with. I haven't done one exactly like this ever, so I'm having kind of a good time. Huh. Okay, brain cramp. And I think we're just about ready to do whatever I'm going to do. I want some other color in there, don't I? Yes, I do. I want some more paint in there is what I want. Right there. Part of me wants to put a black line through things already, but this has got to be an experiment that's just... Alright, so, sans marble, unless I have one handy. Yeah, I do. I have one handy. Let's see what happens. Let's just go. That's good enough for me right now. Let's use my paint skewer. Not much difference as far as I can tell. Let's use the knitting needle. Kind of like that. I think my favorite is the paint skewer, but I think I'm going to go back and forth a few times with the knitting needle just to see. And then the paint skewer. Now I really could put some black in there, but I'm going to try and restrain myself. With any luck at all, we'll have some white negative space. I really could have put a whole lot more paint on the canvas, I think. And I have to be prepared for liking whatever I get. I am going to put my edge catcher, as soon as I extract it from the bottles, right up on the side of the canvas, on the tile. I want to go back through. I really could too, couldn't I? I'm liking my colors. I'm thinking I could have used some more orange, but I know what that turquoise dries like, and it's magnificent. I want some blue. I want some of that beautiful blue. I'm going to have it. That is a Venetian blue. It's iridescent. From Modern Masters. I don't think that ever hurt anybody. Makes me want to just continue on. So I'm going to go back and use my skewer, my paintball skewer. and add a few more Rex. Because Rex is not my thing. Rex is stuff that a lot of other people do, and I don't. At least not until now. And what I really want is more of that orange. That's not fair, because I'm not supposed to want more. But I do what I do because I can, and that is the name of my first book on the Amazon link that's on the link tree. Next to my second book called Unlimited Possibilities. I'm going to hit this really quick. I want to put some spirals in there is what I really want to do. And I'm seeing over in this, I like how the dioxazine purple looks over here, but I don't seem to have enough of it. So rather than put up with what I don't want, I'm going to make it work for me the way I want to. And paint will flow to paint, so if I put some paint around the outside edge, you know what? This might not work at all. I'm taking a big chance. But I have other ways to make things work, including smearing things. And nobody said I couldn't. Nobody said I couldn't put spirals in if I want to. So I'm going to let that all go all the way down over here as far as I can. Let it go back a little bit. And I'm going to let it come back and go right over the edge before I squeeze it back on again. I know I'm going to wish I had some more of some color or another. Let's go that way. So a marble, a knitting needle, and a bamboo skewer walk into a bar. No, I'm kidding. I know, she thinks she's funny. Sometimes I am. Oh, I'm dripping. I'm going to let all that paint pool right there on the edge. Let it roll down in both directions. Let it stop and let it fall over the edge, which worked out pretty well. Double squeeze. I have paint on my edge catcher, which means, in theory, I should be able to cover any missing areas on my edges since they're already pretty well covered anyway. This is going to be different, and I kind of like that I have this edge of the canvas to hang on to, I have to tell you. Oh, I'm dripping all over my hand. You know what? I want those drips off of there. And the only way I know of to do it is to run my finger right down underneath. And I'm going to do it on the other side too. Just because I can. And then we'll go right back to where we were at. And if I really wanted to just stop and leave the white areas, I could. Because I put that paint on to begin with. But I think it's going to be okay. It reminds me of stuff I did my first year, honestly. There was a lot of good stuff my first year. There was a percentage. Stuff I thought was great is not as great now that I look at what I can do. But some of those things stand the test of time. So I'm going to let all that pool. I might throw that one right back on. And move the edge up to the other paint so I use it to cover. So I see what I like, and it's not that huge area of green. So I'm inclined to let all the paint that is flowing flow to the place I want it to go. And then maybe I can make this flow before I can flow off what I really like to keep. I don't usually do the flow off gig. And I will use the paint on my canvas. And I do have some cells. That's cool. I'm going to torch again to release the bubbles caught in the paint. And I wonder if I can move all of that down or if I should use the paint on my edge catcher. Because if you can see, I'm pretty well covered along that side. And I've got really neat shapes and some nice cells and not that much in the way of uncovered edges. But my edge catcher is dripping all the paint that's on it down. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to move a few bottles out of the way so I can have access to that edge catcher. But I'm pretty sure all the time we let that sit, it's just going to keep developing cells. This is my edge catcher, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab some of that paint right now. Because I can. Let it flow right down over the side. Fingers are great tools for filling in the gaps, especially if you have a bunch of puddles. This is slick. I like this. So I've got 2 minutes left to tell you guys I do sell my artwork, and if you're interested in inquiring after a painting and purchasing a painting is by far and away the best possible way to support the studio's production of videos, just in case you didn't realize that. And if you want to inquire, look for my email address. It's right below the video. What did I do with all my tools? There we go. Oh, where was I? Thank you guys for all the donations that help keep me painting all this time. I need to keep filling in. And I think I have some heavy paint, so I think I'm going to just cheat and use my knitting needle to pick up a little bit of that. And really, I don't want to run out of time, but I have enough paint at the bottom there so that if I tip my canvas, I make one thumbprint hole on the other, in my edge. Come on. Yep. A little painting wrestling over here. I know that all of that paint will help the paint that's above it flow down. And hopefully that won't change my design so much that I'll mind it. I think I'll just cover that edge as the afterthought. So, where was I? I have Teespring clothing below the video, which is now called Spring, and it has all-over print leggings and all-over print t-shirts, and I actually used to sell some of it somewhat often, and not so much lately, and it's worth a look. If you click on any of the clothing there, it'll take you to my Teespring store, and I'd like to get my shelf under the video changed, but they're not cooperative very well with me, so you need to go to the store to see what's really there. I am going to, what am I going to do? This is bugging me. I've got 1 minute left, which means I'm going to run out of time, and I should tell you my community board has tomorrow's video on it, and my Facebook groups are on the link tree, as well as my Amazon link. And I'm going to flow some paint right down over that edge because I can. And maybe a little white too. I could have used some black, but I really didn't put any black in any of this. So this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery saying thank you for coming. I have over 2,000 videos. Check on my playlists, all playlists, created playlists, and you will find what you're after. And if you don't, ask me. I've got all those links. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. I'm going to torch and you'll be gone. You're probably gone already.